Well, hello everyone. Oh, yes, I think that was a long enough intro. Ooh, it's still very loud. Decrease that a little bit. Yeah, that was a pretty long intro, not gonna lie. Maybe I shouldn't do that anymore on YouTube, you know? It's a little bit weird to do that on YouTube. I mean, now the vault is just going to be a little weird, right? So now anyone who just clicks on the vault is just going to be listening to some epic music, by the way. I do love the music quite a lot. But yeah, anyone who watches the vault is just gonna be listening to that music for like 5 minutes. So I don't think I'll be doing that again. But oh well. So, let's talk about everything related to streaming and potential Twitch and stuff in... Well, let's just talk about it real quick, right? So, if you haven't seen it already, in the Discord today I posted that... Oh wait, let's actually go to the live stream. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. See that the music is not too loud. I noticed in the vault from yesterday that I left the music too loud. I just have to decrease it far enough. But here in the Discord, I'll just quickly bring it up. I hope there's nothing too crazy in my Discord. Now, so I said right here, right? Hey, right, Twitch. Maybe it is a good time to start thinking about Twitch. Because, well, Twitch just has so many fun, like, little integrations. Hey, why did you start already? I was watching last live. Oh, damn, dude, I was also watching last live. But yeah, I had to stop watching. I was watching Mumbo Jumbo. So, yeah. Sorry about that. I usually start a few minutes early. Just, quickly talk about a couple of things. And one of those things was this this Twitch thing. And now I know that you particularly don't really like it, but yeah, I'm just thinking, right? There is... I didn't even really think about the audience, but someone said it here, right? Yeah, Legendized talked about the audience as well. Yeah, I do think that will be the better way forward for the channel. Keep all the videos on the YouTube channel. Probably make some VODs. Like I can... Maybe I'll think about it. Maybe I can make like a weekly VOD. Just get 5 VODs and then cut it down, put it together. Then we have like one big VOD for YouTube. Maybe. I'll think about it. Maybe I should just do 5 VODs a week. We'll see. But yeah, then we can also do some stuff where the Twitch chat can choose the music and stuff. We might be able to get some affiliate going on, and well, yeah, that's probably it. So yeah, you can upload Twitch streams to YouTube, by the way. Yeah, exactly. So, oh, what do you mean, like stream to YouTube or just upload the VODs? Because uploading the VODs I'll definitely do. Yeah, you are sometimes. Yeah, uploading the VODs is a good idea. I do think. And it really isn't that much work. I mean, you just download the stream, you know, like yesterday's stream from Twitch, and then you just kind of cut out like the introduction bit. That's like a couple minutes, and then you maybe cut out the end bit, and then you just upload it to YouTube. I do think that's that would be great. We could do that. Okay. Right, then yesterday... Oh yeah, wait, you weren't here, right, yesterday. So yesterday, what we did is we set up a bunch of OpenCL boilerplate code, and then we just press the export to YouTube button. There's just an export to YouTube button within Twitch. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Because you can still cut off the front and end in YouTube. So then you don't even have to put it in like, Premiere Pro, you don't have to cut everything up, you don't have to render the whole thing, which just takes a bazillion years. Just exporting it to YouTube and then editing it in YouTube is actually pretty awesome. I'll look into that. That sounds great. So yesterday what we did is we created some code here to just load all the kernels, create all of our buffers that we need. We also made some stuff here to really read and write to the buffers. All of that good stuff. And everything should be in place right now. But the only thing that we really have to do is actually write the code. And it's pretty empty right now. It is pretty empty. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, because it is a bit small. Is there like a dark mode in Notepad++? That would be pretty great. Let's see. Close, rename, save. No, window maybe. Something like settings? Maybe tools? Settings? Yeah, preferences. General. Surely. Yeah, dark mode. Enable dark mode. Oh, hell yes. I don't really know what that is about. Let's just reload this, I guess. Maybe we just have to reload. So let's do that. That isn't great, is it? There are, or there is. Yeah. That's pretty awesome. Why is dark mode weird? Dark mode, yeah. This is just like a tone, I mean... That's fine. Why does this not work properly? Let me look that up. Oh, I'm sorry. It says choose theme Obsidian. Where? Choose theme Obsidian? In dark mode? I don't know. Style configuration. Style config. General. I'm looking, dude. I'm looking. Style. MISC. Is it in somewhere else? Oh, it is. Okay. Default and then Obsidian, you said. Which one? The theme Obsidian. Save, and then here in dark mode, I just don't use dark mode. Oh, no, that doesn't really work. Settings, style. Then it still has this stuff. Like if I click on it, it looks fine, right? But why is it like white like this? Style configurator. Mine works, yeah. I mean. Oh wait, do I have to go to the the OpenCL language? Let's see, objective that. Fortran CSS, bash. What is it called right here? Let's see. So we have language and then OpenCL 1.2. If I go to just Visual Basic, yeah, then it does work. So it's definitely the style. That is the issue. Okay, yeah, and my style is just not in here. That's the real problem then. Current backline grounds. Let's see, I don't think it's in here. Yeah, global styles, global override. Yeah, that should just be this. Oh. Enable global background color, that works. That totally works. Then some of the stuff is going to be like dark on black, so maybe we... Let's save and close. Let's try to find a style that doesn't have black on black. Like blackboard is just gonna be black, that's a problem. Shoko, it's weird. Dark mode default. Dark mode default is fine, I think. Oh no. Can I change the background color? Oh yeah, I can change the background color myself. Hello Kitty. Switch themes. I suppose this is fine, right? Yes, colors. Yeah, I just want to change this stuff. So the font color, like the default font color. is this just the font color or is it the background color? Well, that's just the background color, so let's cancel that. Oh! Let's go back to Obsidian. Default, style, indent bed, blah blah blah. Mark style. Incremental highlights. Active tab. Fold, fold, fold. Margin, edge color, selected color. Current line background. Brace, indent. Yeah, like this has the font style, right? But I just don't know what this normal font is. No text colors. Enable global fonts. I don't know. I guess change for the language. Yeah, it's the language isn't in here, so I have to change the global style, which is fine. But I do kind of want to change this because this is very hard to read, right? Like this black on the dark background. But otherwise, we are looking at eye-burning, just absolute eye-burning white background, which is even worse. Right, and what is any of this? Can I change like the... Oh, darn it, I forgot to save this. Let's just do normal Obsidian. Save and close. And then settings, preferences, and then maybe there is like a color in here. Language, highlighting, print, blah, blah, da, da, da. Not necessarily. Yeah, yours works fine because you're using a default language. Like if I just switch to just C, for example, like this is fine, right? The problem is that I'm using the special OpenCL language. Markdown, markdown. Let's see, I don't really have it here. Yeah, I think that isn't really going to work then. Yikes. Yeah, we can of course just go to style configurator and then choose something that is slightly less dark. Right, just move this up. That's ugly as hell. Oh, that's ugly as hell. Default. Oh, that's weird. Blackboard, like Zenburn. Oh, this is fine. This may work. And I do have this weird highlighting thing that's totally black. Oh, wait. I can go to Obsidian. And then just use this, save and close. Right, now there's barely any color in here. Visual Studio Code. Yeah, I could do Visual Studio Code. That would definitely work. I mean, it would. The question is, do I want to, right? Yeah, like this way I totally lose any highlighting that I have. So I really can't do that. That's just no way, right? No, wait. Twilight? No. Solarized? I mean, this is fine. Solarized light. But this is great. I can live with this. I can live with this. Yeah, this is not so bad. This is not so bad. Found an extension in 10 seconds. Yeah, I know. Visual Studio Code is pretty good. But I don't have it and I don't want to install it. And this is fine. This is fine. It's not as eye-burning as it used to be now. Right. Marching race. No, I don't have Visual Studio Code. Yeah, I just, you know, I keep milking this, and I'm gonna say this a billion times over. But I just reinstalled Windows. I'm gonna leave now. All right. Well, have a great evening. Because you don't. Because you don't have Visual Studio Code. Yeah, I just reinstalled my my Windows. I have like barely anything. I don't even have Steam now. Imagine that. I didn't even have time to install Steam. It's painful. Hey, Jasmine. Welcome, welcome. You're just in time. I think we can get started now. Yeah, I like the editor this way. It's fine. All right, let's see. We need. Let's go to the render manager because we of course have our pre-made code in here. Ray marching result, yeah, we have our other ray marcher, our CPU-based ray marcher in over right around almost there. Yeah, there we go. So we need something like this, right? So let's see. So we have this parallel 4 and this 4 already defined basically within our, you know, in our context. One rat will just be one ray. By the way, tried the PL rect. Epic for making your code not compile due to the old compiler workings. Yeah, I think my code on GitHub right now doesn't compile anyway because I just noticed that there was just a very plain error. I had like a using in CL Engine that that just didn't exist basically. Didn't really notice that yesterday. I don't know why. Things just worked fine yesterday, but then they didn't. Really weird. Let's see. Yeah, I should probably stop uploading or pushing code that just doesn't work. That may be a smart idea. Anyway, so we need to find out our origin in our direction. I suppose if we get our camera, we can get it from here, right? Yeah, so let's get this in here first. So we'll have a float 3 and another float 3. One for the origin, one for the direction. And we should have a camera. I suppose I should define this here, and I have. So it's a cam dot pos, and I guess I should define a struct here as well. Struct camera. Something like this, right? Or do I need to type def here that I say like camera here? I don't really know exactly how this works. C style structs. How did that work again? Type def struct name, and then struct name. Yeah, something like that. Does the following. Defines a structure called struct name and creates a type def of a structure called struct name. The reason for this is that in proper C code, the way you would otherwise declare a struct, like above, would be the following. Struct name, struct instance. However, with the type def in place, you can simply use the following. Struct name, struct instance. Sure. So we should have a type def. Struct underscore camera. And then here, camera. That's my type def. And then in here, we should have a float 3 position. Anything else that we need? Oh yeah, and a float 3 and then camera dot direction. Like that, right? Oh, and then of course we can also get our I's and J's from the current get global ID. Our thread ID. 0 will be our x coordinates, so int x I suppose should be this, and int y, or I suppose we can, yeah, it's just integer, it's fine actually. get global ID, and this will be in dimension 1. It'll just be pixel X, pixel Y. Right, and now we also have something like this is pixel Y, right? That's pixel Y, and then we also have these X and Y things. What were those again? Point here. Let's see, so float 3, and this will be the cam X, or the camera relative to the camera, the X direction. Cam X would... Yeah, so in camera space, the X direction in camera space. Cam space X. Then we need a float 3, which is cam space Y. Right, something like that. Tested if OpenCL works, plus like just make a texture with XY coordinates. What do you mean? Like, did you already test that? With the code yesterday? How do I actually do even a cross product? It's probably just something like cross, right? Yeah. By unit Y, which is just float 3. Have you? No, I didn't test this yet. I didn't test this yet. I'm just gonna assume that it works. I mean, I have tested basically exactly this code in C++ for the OpenCL video. And I basically just copied everything from there in here. But then with OpenTK. So it should work. By all accounts, it should work. Famous last words, I know. Oh, I know. We'll be fine. Totally fine. Then we should probably also have a float rat just for the ratio. Screen ratio here. That should be cam.ratio. And then multiply by a cross of the camera direction. Cam.dir. Then by cam space X. There we go. Okay, so this will just set up our origin and our direction. Oh, this doesn't quite work, of course, because this is minus 0.5. Yeah, but then we still need px divided by 1920. And I think that the floating points actually don't work either. Texture color equals new color. Px divided by width, py divided by height. Yeah, I mean, that would kind of be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, I do agree. That would kind of be nice to just test that out. Give me a second. I'll do that in just a moment. Try to get these first lines correct, and then yeah, then I'll try to get a texture like that. Let's see. So no floating points anymore. There we go. Py divided by 180. I suppose just the screen size should also be in here. From that we can calculate the ratio. So this can just be a float 2. Will be size. So floats. Well, actually we're only using this once. Cam.size.x. I suppose we should do cam.size.y divided by cam.size.x times the cross product. And then in here, this is not super efficient, right? Just having the ratio pre-computed might be better, but we need the screen size as well. By cam.size.y cam.size.x. Yeah. And this should also be divided by y. This should also be the same thing, but then with x. So I suppose we can just make a float 3, and this will just be offset equals this thing, right? We had that in our old code, but we kind of deleted it for optimization's sake. I don't think we actually have to do that here for optimization. I think the OpenCL compiler will do that for us. in this case. Times scan there, and then this is again the offset. Yes, I believe so. Oh, I tried to click the Visual Studio save. Yikes. Okay, let's make another kernel in here. Let's just copy and then paste, and then we'll call this our color test, something like that, .cl. Then inside of our color test.OpenCL, what we want to do is we just want to have our global float pointer pixels. That's it. And then we do that. We'll get rid of this, we'll get rid of that. In here we can get the X and the Y, and then we can just state that pixels px plus 1920 times py must be equal to... wait, actually this should be 3 times this index plus 0, because we do define an R, G, and B value. So the red value should be equal to the px divided by the width. So float of px. I think it's actually defined like, well, doesn't really matter, like something like this. Px divided by 1920. Then the green will be governed, or will be decided by the y divided by 1080. And then the last one, blue, will be decided by maybe the multiple, like px times py divided by 1920 times 1080, something like that. Whatever, right? It doesn't really matter that much. Just that we can get some color on screen. Yeah. So then we need to go in here. We need to go to the engine. No, to the objects. We need to load the... What's the entry function here? March race. Well, make colors, I guess, is nicer here. Our kernel is make colors. And the other one... What's the file name again? Color test. .cl. There we go. Does not correspond with computing. Oh, a file location. Yeah, I don't really care. Okay. In any case. And in here at position 0 we can set a pixel buffer. Yes, right. Then we can actually run this. This should be totally okay. Then wait for finish, then render the result. Which will do this. Yeah, we'll unqueue the read buffer, the pixel buffer. Yeah, shouldn't this just work? Let's just try it. Definitely a good idea to just try this. So it does actually throw an error. Namespace doesn't exist. Yeah, so it doesn't actually tell me that there is an error here unless I actually build the code. And then all of a sudden it tells me, okay, there is an error. Didn't used to do that before. Could not find non-norman desktop game dev. Cuboid Engine, Cuboid game / binary / release color test. Oh, right. How am I doing that for shaders right now? Shaders. I'm using all of this nonsense, right? Let's get that in our OpenCL objects as well. This should be kernels. Color test. Okay, that should be better then. Cannot be null. Value cannot be null. Program is... I'm in a release mode, that just doesn't want to tell me. Okay. Try that again. Why? Why does this have to be a non-nullable type? Along with all the fields at any level of nesting in order for it to use parameter t. Type ID must be non-nullable value type, along with all fields. Why? Like now this is a class, but in debug mode, it should be, yeah, it's just a class. Why must it be... Huh? Huh? Type ID, the type ID must be a non-nullable value type along with all fields at any level of nesting in order to use it as parameter t in a generic method. Am I using it as a t? I'm not using it as t, right? Oh, I'm using it here. But this will give me an ID back, and I don't want that. Like, don't I have to set kernel specifically for an ID? Oh, I don't. That is the issue. No, I found it. I found it. So here I'm putting an ID, but I actually have another function here in Computing Manager. Like this, right? I already have one of these. Or I thought I had one of these. Yeah, here. This sets kernel arc. That one. But that is without the T. I never put that in the engine here. There we go. That's what it should be calling. Right. Let's see. Where is it? This one. Yeah, it also doesn't have the generic there. That's what I thought I was calling, but I guess I wasn't. Value cannot be null. Okay. I was wondering about that. Because it asks for an event callback. And I thought I could just give it a null, but I suppose not. I don't really know why. Because I was kind of sure that I could just... that it could just be null. Yeah, only the C-style version can be null. I suppose we'll just do this. EVT, and then data does nothing. Just whatever. Yeah. Still no. Invalid kernel name. Okay. Okay, sure. What is the kernel name? Make colors. Our program is just a program. Everything here works fine. It is just that the kernel name is not valid. Right. Why isn't it? Let's go here, color test. Let's go here, make colors. Is it saved? Yeah. So kernel void make colors. Why is that not correct? Okay, let's go back up to CL objects. Make colors. Seems fine to me. Like this, maybe? Yeah, why? Wait, if I'm reading this, right? Kernel sources, I should be able to just see this. Yeah. Kernel void make colors. Then we get all of this. Yeah, so we are reading the right thing. So that's fine, but maybe I am making an error here in this reading code that is causing us to have some issues. So let's go in here. Let's check this out. String pointer here. So we have a pointer to a string, which will be this kernel source, right? And then string length will be this length. So let's go here. What will be the length here? It will be 313. Like, is this still valid? After this has been called, is this still valid, this pointer? I'm not sure. Maybe I need to release it as well. String to HG global auto. Program create program with source, this, and then this is then just the length. Kernel sources. dot length. Oh yeah, and then string pointer. And here the string length. Will this be the length in bytes though? I suppose it should be the same, right? I found something about not having new lines when working with C. I mean, if we're using GLSL, everything is fine, right? And that's basically the same thing. So I don't think it's the new lines. Because GLSL is basically made by the same people. Not for, like by the Chronos group, right? But then for the OpenGL shading language instead of general OpenCL computing language. Let's see though. So this is not null. Program is source. Do you think that this is just wrong now? Well, if it is wrong, it can actually build the program. So for some reason, it can actually build the program. So that can't be it. Otherwise, we get like a build program and then validate program, and that would just give us a whole bunch of issues. Right? So let's see. Validate program will give us build status. Oh, maybe it does actually give us some issues. Hold up. Yeah, what is the log? The log is nothing. Okay, right. Yeah, so the build status is just a success and then... No, okay. So building is fine. So it really is just the name. OpenCL and then can't find kernel name or something. Yeah, invalid kernel name. Blah blah blah. The whole kernel string will end up in one line, which is fine for the kernel definition, but not for pragma. There you need end line character. Fixed version would look like this. Kernel void div. Oh, that is for the pragma, right? But I'm not using pragma. Kernel looks like this. Const jar thing is kernel. And then here it's div. Yeah, which should be just fine. But I'm not using pragma. It will end up in one line, so yeah, that should just be totally okay. Invalid scroll name. Got to install new Minecraft launcher. Not gonna play Minecraft, just so that you know. It's always... Yeah, wait! I don't have a Minecraft launcher either anymore. Man, it's really getting to me, this whole new Windows thing. I really don't like it. No Steam, no Minecraft launcher. What am I supposed to do with my day now? Just do work? Apparently, yeah, because I haven't noticed it until now, but still. Do this, do this. I think it's fine. You think that's just a capital letter or something that it just doesn't like? Because that isn't the proper naming convention, I do know that. I just like it with capital letters. But you think that is like an issue at all? Just try it, whatever. No, okay, good. It isn't. Invalid kernel name. So the kernel name is makecolors now. Right. It's on MS Store now. Oh, that's yucky. That is yucky. I am a Java player though. Is it still on? Is the Java version on the Minecraft or the Microsoft Store now? Don't necessarily like that very much. Java is on Microsoft Store. Oh, okay. Sure. Like that. Yeah, basically, but this is... Right, split the issue. The reason it's 5 minutes every hour is because it's happening during the donation. Okay, that's not really... Be sure to clear out the OpenCL cache. That can hardly be it, right? We're just starting with using it. Right, I don't feel like this is really the issue. Is this just wrong? It shouldn't be, right? Let's look at an example OpenCL code. OpenCL an example. Just check it out. Simple OpenCL example. Let's look. Does he have like a kernel somewhere? Literally just has hello world. Add numbers. Just very, very, very simple, right? Add numbers.cl. Kernel void add numbers global float 4 pointer data. Yeah, that should just be totally fine. Yeah, and then in here in his C code, he just has for the kernel name. It's just adding stuff up, right? Where does he unqueue the ND range kernel? Create context, build a program, yeah. Do command queue, create a kernel. Here, kernel func. Kernel func is just add numbers, yeah. So I don't necessarily see what the issue is. Yeah, maybe it is this. Marshall.string. Maybe we can just like release string or something. Look up how this actually works. Because I am wondering, maybe if we go out of scope, it just releases the string again and we get something weird. But then again, it does actually compile. Copies the contents of the managed string into an unmanaged memory. Yeah, so it just copies. Converting into ANSI format if required. How could I read that out again? Yeah, like that is pretty awesome. How do I read that out again? Just Marshall probably again. Then string to C, to code task, to H global unseek, H global auto, uni, pointer to string. You can all probably do auto as well here. So the pointer can be this thing. Oh, we're still running. This will give us a string. Then we can just read it out again. Yeah, and it is definitely make colors. So I don't necessarily see the issue here. Like replace. Let's just replace all the backslash R's with like nothing. That gives us a new string. It's possible, right? In this string we only have backslash n's now, no more backslash r's. Maybe we can also get rid of backslash t's. Yeah, and then this still gives us the invalid kernel name. Yeah, let's replace all the backslash r's, backslash n's, and the backslash t's. Then we should have a very, very clean string here. Yeah, this is very, very clean. Still gives us the issue. Yeah. Okay, let's look at create kernel. Maybe we're just using this wrong. So program, then string name, and then out current code. Let's look at this in the thing. This says the create kernel. Yeah, so in this guy's code, right? Use that as well. CL create kernel within the program, the func, and a return error. Oh, I did that wrong. CL create kernel. Const jar pointer kernel name. It's a function name in the program declared with a kernel qualifier. Yes. If not a valid program, if the kernel name is not found in program. Yeah. So that is the real issue. Kernel name is just not found. Let us see. So what do we have here, right? We have our... Oh, I skipped the string. Just want to take a look at the string again. Maybe that can explain why it's not finding the make colors. Maybe we should have like a space here. Kernel void make colors should totally be fine, right? Or can we not? Could we not have the void there? Is that the issue? He has this, right? Yeah, he has that. He also doesn't have a space there. Do we have the right number of parentheses? Yeah, totally fine. What if I just remove everything else? Comment out everything else. No, still the issue. Try to read from the pointer. Read from, you mean like put in a pointer instead of an actual string in here. This is in string name, but it doesn't actually do much. Is there another function here that we can maybe put in a string pointer? No, in C#. We are reading this from a pointer, right? We're converting this string to the pointer, and then here we're reading from the pointer. So we're reading directly what is put into the pointer. Well, we can read here what is actually inside of the pointer afterwards, right? We convert this to a pointer, and then here we read it out of the pointer again. And that is what I've been looking at. So this string here that is read from the pointer is this. The error is not invalid kernel anymore. Oh, really is it? I wasn't paying attention. Invalid program executable. That's something. That's something. If there is no successful build executable for a program. That might be because I just destroyed everything. Oh no, I mean an empty function should work. Good catch though. Marshall pointer to string auto. Yeah, exactly, that's what I have here. Exactly what I have here. Zoom in a little bit more. Anders, welcome to the stream, by the way. The right line. Yeah, I can do that. Console, right line. Oh, right lines. str. Here, and now it says this thing, which is basically what we have, right? But then here everything commented out, which apparently it doesn't really like that much. Things are commented out like that. Because now it says invalid program executable, but why are we not getting an error earlier at build program then? Right, why? Let's go here to validate. Maybe that's the issue. Let's check this. The build status result is just a success. Maybe if we comment this out. Unknown type name. Oh, right. So there is actually an issue. So the build status result, if that is a success, it doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't a error here. Right, so 1.1 error unknown type name underscore underscore. Error expected identifier or this thing. Sure. We are... Is it as simple as just doing that? Does it just not like that there's a white space there? Or... No, it doesn't like the underscores, but I don't really know why. And is it for the kernel or is it for the global that it doesn't like it? Unknown type name K. It's like it's reading everything just one letter at a time. Unknown type name K. Yeah, so it's just reading this K. Yeah, add back the lines, maybe. What is the length here? Where are we? Where are we? Da 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 da. What is the console right line? Oh, this might be why. Because now we're using a different length. Because we're replacing everything here. Yeah, let's get rid of this. And let's see if that works better. Wait, is that even right to begin with? Kernel sources I.length. Yeah, that should just give us a length, right? What's in here? Let's see. It's this thing and then 320. Seems reasonable. I mean, it seems reasonable to me. Unknown type name underscore. Then why is it only finding like one little thing? That's so weird. That is so weird. Right, so we have here create the program with the source. First we have int count, which should be kernel sources at length. Yeah, then we have the strings, which is string pointer. Then we have the lengths, the string length. Yeah, and then we have the out result code. Let's see if there's anything weird going on here under the hood. Don't really see it that well. We can just use a string source. Why are we being weird? Oh, here it does the same thing, right? Oh, let's see if they do the exact same thing here. Int pointer string equals new int pointer Marshall. That's strings to hg global nc source. Uint length equals new and uint source length. Create program with source, and that. It's the same thing, right? Just to make sure, just to make absolutely sure, let's just call it and see if that makes any difference. So instead of doing all of this, just put in this one. Yeah. Yeah, let's look at this. This doesn't throw an error anymore. This doesn't actually throw an error anymore. So here I guess we should say if block.trim. This should be string dot from, or can I do like log.toString, something like that? And then trim. I'm not sure if that's completely correct, but maybe like char array, something like that. Convert from that, yeah, whatever. This will probably work. is greater than 0, then we actually have something here. Dot length. Whatever. Yeah, here, this doesn't actually work. Let's see, how do I convert a byte array to a string? There was something very nice here in string, I think. Compare. Concatenate, concat, equals format. Yeah. Intern is intern. Join. Maybe it's in char. To lower, to upper. Is letter, is low, is number. Maybe it's in byte then. Sparse. No, then I don't know. Let's just worry about that later. Byte array to string. Byte array content. No. Like, and just byte array like this is just a general array type. This won't have any special capabilities. It's fine, let's just see how far we can get now. Invalid workgroup size. Yeah, so this totally works. We're now getting an invalid workgroup size. Which I would expect, because there is no code. Right, so this here... the func I gave, encoding.utf8. Oh, that is a thing. Encoding.utf8. Dot, and then something like byte array. Get next byte, a single byte. Get bytes. To string. Byte array to string. Something. Right, okay, it's just a something. Get count, get bytes. Get chars. Body count, encoding name, blah blah. Get string from bytes. That seems fine. Naxi, hey, there's also system.text encoding.default get string. Oh yeah, I'm actually using that, I believe, somewhere else as well. That seems very familiar. And oh, go away. Encoding. Default get string. I think it basically does the exact same thing. So sure. Then here we want to trim. Removes all leading and trailing white space, and then we want to get the length. See if that still crashes. It does. Even though this is a thing of... Oh, that's because this is not a white space. Right. Don't really know why the default is just a 10 and a 0. Yeah, that's very weird. It will probably always be larger than 2, right? So maybe we can just do like log length larger than 2. Like a serious crash report always has more than 2 characters in it, I hope. So hopefully that will just kind of do the trick. Right, let's get the code back up. So this works now. We'll check out why this doesn't work in a second. Oh, expected expression pixels equals that. Error use of undeclared identifier ixels. Ixels. Oh. Yeah, that might cause issues. Music is something like it's from... Yeah, dude. So I got this music from the OBS Premium. And it's bopping. it's bopping, dude. Yeah, I really like it. It's like retro music. The retro gaming music. Yeah, so invalid work size. What is the work size? Go work size. 1080. Invalid work group size. So 64 is just too large. I'm thinking that is then the case. Let's go here. Let's make that smaller. Jungle theme abstraction. I did Shazam. Very nice. It's still... Wait, it's still invalid? It's only just local workgroup. Like, what if I just do it 1-1? Still gonna complain? Ooh. That takes a very long time. I'm thinking this is not quite correct. This has like a certain flair to it. Oh, I'm still not properly resizing my window. Never mind that. It looks like there are way too many pixels in there. And we got a null value as well, for whatever reason. Right, so 2 by 1920 by 1080. That seems fine. Something is up, yeah. Run kernel, then we have the ID, then the dimension, then the global work size and the local work size. Yeah, that's definitely the way it's supposed to be. Kernels, that should be totally fine. We did get some colors, right? So it's definitely there. Work size offset is just dim, and then it should just be... Maybe there are like offsets in here that are non-zero for some reason. Wait, I... It's just 0. 0U that other guy used, right? No, it doesn't quite work. Like this one dot 0. Then global work size pointer. I should just have this one, right? Just the work size. Local work size pointer should just have that one. Sure. What else do we have? Global work size offset. That's... Wait, first we have command Q, we have that. Then the kernel, we have that. Then the work dimension, which is 2, we have that. Work size offset, which is all 0, we have that. And the global work size. Then the local work size. Then the number of events in waitlist. Event waitlist. And the result code. Can it just... Can it just be Unity easy? No. Oh boy. No, I don't think it will be Unity easy. Unfortunately. I do think if you're using advanced Unity stuff, you're getting the same issues, of course. Okay, I do know people who've made their own ray tracers within Unity, but that is not necessarily much easier than this, actually. Like, what if I just say, I'll just turn this into... Well, let's actually just read here. Let's set a debug point. There we go, this was a success, yeah. This one just has 2 zeros in it. This one has 1920 by 1080, yeah, and this one has 1 by 1. That should be fine, that should be fine. This is 2. Yes, yes, yes. Maybe there is an issue with my code in here. So we have pixel X, which is just global ID 0. Plus 1920 times pixel Y. Then 3 times plus 0. Should be fine. Maybe we are reading it out wrong. And Vue's computer shaders took 10 minutes. Yeah, OpenGL in general is definitely a bit easier. But in Unity, yeah. It do be like that. Let's see, so we are on cue the read buffer for the pixel buffer and then the pixels, which is in fact a 1920 by 1080 by 3. What does get global ID do? It will get the like worker thread quote unquote ID. So for X in the X dimension, couldn't find my underscore. So in the X dimension there are 1920 different values, right? 0 to 1919. And in the Y direction there are 1080 different ones. That just gets like your integer value there. Should be totally okay. In this one we have ID and data, yeah. This is just data on Q read buffer, so that. Then we have a blocking read which is false. Then we have an offset which is 0. Then we have the actual array. And then we have the waiting list. Should be fine. Should be fine. You sure? Yeah, I'm like 99% sure about that. Array.length times 4. I'm sorry, but that is not particularly safe code. Wait, the length is not always array.length times 4. In our case it is, so it should work for us. But if we're like reading chars or something, this ain't gonna work. This is very weird. And we have the actual object pointer, yeah. Event list. Out handle, yeah. That's fine. Maybe we should have a blocking read. We should have this to true. No, it doesn't really work. What if I just make this simple, right? What if I just say this is 0, this is 0, and we're just we're just red. Yeah, then we get all of these weird lines. There's definitely something up with that. It's really weird that it has this just completely unsafe bit of code in there. That is really, really weird. Right, because this thing is using the offset and then, yeah, then the size, which should be in bytes, of course. And then here pointer, which is a void pointer then, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, and then to an in pointer, yeah, that should be okay. Yes, it just says no. Yeah. Basically, it just says, yeah, that's what it does. Here, it doesn't use it properly. So for the span, it does do everything the way that it should be doing it. Okay. Read buffer. Can I go to this one? Right, this one doesn't really do anything anymore. Do we really think that it is reading though? It's causing the issue? I'm not sure if it really is the reading that's doing the issue then. Because the reading seems fine for us, for now. Wait for finish, then we do all of this. Great. Are we just using this data properly? I mean, that might also be a thing, right? Like if we then... Let's just test that, right? Let's quickly test that. Or int x equals 0, x smaller than 1920, plus x. Do the same thing for y, but for 1080. Y. And then just say pixels of 3 times x plus 1920 times y plus 0 equals 1. So that's just red. And the rest is nothing. Do we actually get red everywhere? No, we don't. Okay, so it actually is not an issue even with what we're doing. Try to clamp textures. Yeah, I think the issue is down with our textures, boys. Okay, right. So bind the texture 2D, that should be okay. Texture 2D. Wrapping and stuff shouldn't really matter that much. RGB 1920 by 1080 by 0. That's the border, yeah. For RGB. Unsigned bytes. try it again. Whoa! What? That's so weird. That just... How did that work? Wow. Wow. Yikes. Well. We kind of fixed that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, huh? I like it. I like it. Let's try to get this back up here. There we go. Okay, now we should get another thing. That's a beauty in it. We are taking quite long. Why is this taking 20 milliseconds? Why is this taking 20 milliseconds? What is all of this doing? Holy Christ, what? Where is all of our time? Let's actually quickly debug this, because this... Oh wait, we are... Oh. Oops, let's not do that. We are in release, or we are in debug. What happens if we go into release mode? Same thing. Yeah, that's the exact same thing, sure. So the performance profiler, and let's look at the CPU usage. Yeah, let's quickly check where all of our time is spent, because surely it isn't taking us 20 milliseconds to render a quad. This is not great. Wait for finish. It's not even that much. This is an external function even. What is the self CPU time of external code? Oh, let's load this. Load all modules. See, I'll finish. Right. Oh, we are only using one worker thread, of course. Maybe that's the issue. We're basically doing everything not very parallel at all at this point in time. Maybe that could be it. Yeah. Why is this here? I don't know. It's ugly as hell. External code, which we don't have. External code, which we don't have. This is .onQ. Yeah, so we are waiting a very long time. Like, this takes us 19%. So surely this is just the onQ read buffer that is taking very long. And then of course we also have to wait. Okay, let's don't save. Let's go to the engine and let's say, sure, we want to do this stuff with more worker threads. Let's try 8x8. That should already be faster. Yeah, that's 15 milliseconds. It's still extremely long though. Like, surely 16 by 6 or 64 by 64 should just be possible now. 16 by 16 is possible, but then we get nothing on the screen, which is weird. Only slightly concerning. I think we're already running into memory issues then. Definitely running into memory issues now, because it's not getting any faster as well. It does kind of work though, but look, it's not getting any quicker. Like at all. 8x8 should give us 64 threads at the same time. Which is fine, so we get 16 milliseconds. Which means that the OpenCL code itself should be blazing fast. It's probably reading all of the pixels every single time. But we're going to have to do that anyway. Oh, yikes. 10 by 10. Yeah, I do like to stay in powers of 2 though. Because usually that is what OpenCL does as well. Or what yeah, the backend or the GPU does as well. Let's see here. So we have this render, or we have this computing thing. Build status info result. What is this even? Oh, this is just the log. Alright, we're not really paying attention to it anymore. Sure. Okay, what if we don't do all of the waiting here? So we don't do waiting here. Is this thing still like blocking? Because I did change this. Yeah, that's false, that. And then in engine, we also have a bunch of waiting events. We wait and we wait. What if we don't wait? Doesn't really change much now, does it? Let's see, but we're like barely quick enough to render anything, right? We're barely at 60 FPS. Oh boy. Let's try that again. So surely it is not the GPU, but it's the CPU that is causing the issues here. Might just be a limit. No, because I've been rendering with way higher FPS in the same project. I can look in a second in like the window. Yeah, OnQ read buffer is just taking up the most amount of time. Load all symbols. Yeah, this here. Then the rest. Oh, this one is also taking up so much time though. Why is this one taking up 27%? Just to create a texture. It's just 1080p textures. Are they just so heavy? It's just impossible to do. Like I could of course just store my buffer or just keep my buffer on the GPU and just render that buffer. Right, that is totally fine by me. The problem is, how do I access that data from GLSL? That same data. It's on a graphics card, but it's probably protected in some way. Not sure if I can even like try to access it. Not sure if that's even possible. This one also, just the OnQ read buffer just takes so much time. Google, yeah, that is probably what I'm gonna have to do. So something like OpenCL. Or maybe GLSL, get buffer. Or get texture, because then we can of course just upload things to a texture from OpenCL. Interoperability tutorial, perhaps. You know, maybe. It's better blank. Not gonna lie, Intel, that's not great. Right. Let's try this in Google because yeah, the Brave search engine just really isn't that great. Not gonna lie. So trying to tweak a texture from a kernel and draw the tweaked one. Load texture. Anyone have any comments on this? No. To make my ray tracer in that. Sharing textures in OpenCL. Now this is something. Transferring the image between GPU memory and RAM every frame is a huge overhead. We can avoid this by sharing memory between OpenCL and OpenGL. And do all calculation while the image stays on the GPU memory. Conway's Game of Life or something similar is a good example for doing that. Context sharing. After we created a window with GLET or GLUT, the next step is to get the next OpenGL context. Under Windows, there is a function to get a current context. Context, CL context, get the context. Okay, sure. need this 2 times to generate the textures. GL gen textures, we can do that. Bind texture, set the text parameters. And then here we just do GL luminance. Sure, whatever. And then we just basically just put no data in here at all. We only need GL luminance as we don't have color.text image 2D. Does trigger the upload and gives us the texture handle. Sure, whatever. Debunked. Hi, I totally forgot time over programming my shader. Let's find it. OpenCL has textures. Yeah, I do know that OpenCL has textures, but I don't know how to share those with OpenGL. That's what we're checking out here. Now we need OpenCL data handle. CL image 2DGL. Oh, that is a thing? Context, right, text image 2D texture. Really? OpenCL needs to acquire the texture from OpenGL. CL events, CL int results, queue, unqueue, acquire GL objects. That's a thing? Let's see. Don't save. So then, what do we need? In Computing Manager, we might want to try something like... Let's just quickly see if this is even a thing. GL. Oh, that doesn't look good, boys. Text. Oh, that really doesn't look good. What was the first one that he was talking about? Image 2D GL. Oh yeah, it wasn't texture. Image to create image 2D. Use create image instead. Create image. Context flags. So maybe there are like flags for this. Read only. Oh, this is just normal memory flags, right? Image format, image description, host pointer. Don't feel like this is particularly reliable, boys. Never heard of any of this. No one responded to this. It's German as well. Okay, sure. Combining OpenGL and OpenCL. This function, the functions needed to configure OpenGL, OpenCL interoperability, a method for coding OpenGL, OpenCL applications, rendering animations, sure. I love this code. Hello. Am I blocking some essential scripts? Oh. Oh yeah, looks like I am. Okay, yeah, I am. Oh, okay. That was my bad. That was my bad. Creating the OpenCL context. Yeah, we're doing that. Properties, CL, GL, context. Yeah, but I can't do that because I'm using OpenTK. That might be an issue. Yeah, create from GL buffer. Let's look at OpenTK. Maybe it has like a special library for this. Compute. Native maybe. CL base. No. OpenCL. CL buffer, CL command queue. Oh, CLGL. Oh, look at that. Now this might actually do something. Right, okay. Well, this will require quite some rewriting, won't it? Okay. Create from GL buffer. Create from GL render buffer. Create from GL texture. I suppose we only need kind of this. Get GL context info. Yeah, whatever. In the context memory flags, target input level texture. This will then be the CL texture. And then we'll just get a buffer. Wouldn't that just be enough if we just create a texture first? It seems like yes. Wait, this won't require that much rewriting anyway. So public static This will actually be an ID, right? And then create, and then buffer. Yeah, and I guess this would be create texture buffer. And this will just call this thing. This will return a CL buffer. CL buffer, let's call this just texture buffer. I didn't know about any of this, by the way. This is completely new. Hello, PLRC. Welcome, welcome. Like the old tutorial said, yes. I'm glad you're using C#. Yes, so am I. Hello. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, this is some niche stuff. I've never seen this. It's actually kind of fun. I do like this. So create a buffer, so let's just kind of copy this half. Right, something like this. This does actually return a result that we just don't use. Maybe we should kind of do something with that. I'm currently learning the language and SDL. Isn't SDL a C++ thing though? Let's see. What do we need here? Oh, the context, Yes, of course. Got the value, and then memory flags will be read. Well, I guess it will be read write then, right? Because I need to write it from OpenCL and then read from it in OpenGL, something like that. So just read write. Or is it host read only, or is it kernel read and write? I don't know what most of these means. I'll look that up actually at some time. SDL bindings. Yes, I'm using a wrapper for C#. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Didn't know you had that actually. I always just used basically I always just used OpenTK, and then at some point I also started kind of learning Vulkan, but then Vulkan took me half a year to create a triangle, and then I kind of gave up after that. Bit of a shame. Targets. What is target supposed to be? This corresponds to the texture target used in OpenGL. Okay, so GL .gl texture targets. Well, that's actually not really it, right? GL texture targets. OpenTK. Let's see, that's OpenGL graphics, that's OpenGL4, texture targets. Texture targets. Texture 2D. Right, and then this just casts to an integer. Something like that. That should probably work. Mid-map level, just 0 is just the base level, right? Heard of Raylib. .cs. Great for prototyping game dev. Oh, and game dev. Yeah, I've never heard of that either. I've seen videos about OpenGL, OpenTK at your channel. I intend to learn it, but it's difficult as FUCK, yes. Yeah, if you have no experience with OpenGL, then yeah. So I gave up and now I'm learning SDL. Yeah, SDL is actually quite nice. I do like SDL, but I'm completely not familiar with SDL. I've seen it. I've used it for like the very basics, just creating a window and then rendering a quad to it. Like, I guess I can do that. That's about it. But I do know that it is very, like, a lot more intuitive, and it is kind of nice actually. And the texture, so this I should have here. So this should be just int texture. Not entirely sure. Maybe I should just have an ID for texture, because of course we would actually want to use texture. So ID texture ID, and here we can have some sort of texture manager, and then the out CL result goes right. Results. It's not too bad. So we just need a texture ID in here. Oh. Which means we also need a texture manager. But that is totally fine. return buffers. Buffers.add asset texture buffer. There we go. Okay, awesome. Pronounced fuzz. Yes. Very much so. There we go. Now, yeah, we do kind of need the textures file now with the texture manager and a textures loading file. That is fine though. Textures or texture in here, and then we can make a texture manager. And I'll just copy the shader manager. And basically only this stuff as well. If you produce more videos about OpenGL, OpenTK, maybe I'll be able to learn it. Yes, I am working very hard right now on getting a, like, what was it? An OpenCL video for all of you. And of course, I do kind of want some other stuff. Why is this? Why am I getting this? I don't want this. Then I want to try to do some more OpenGL videos as well. I know. So the problem right now is, right, I'll just be very honest with you guys. I'm extremely busy at the moment. And like this afternoon, I had like an hour to work on the video for OpenCL. So the OpenCL video is just not gonna release this Friday. Like, no way, right? No way. I still need to edit the entire thing. And it's like half an hour. No, it's not half an hour. I think the entire video will be like 20 minutes. Which isn't bad. 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how I cut it, of course. But yeah, that is probably going to take me, you know, like 12 hours to edit. I won't have that much time, so I will try to make another Bots Are Stupid video this week, but I'm not sure if I actually still have the saves, so I might try my hand at Game Dev Tycoon. I saw that somewhere. I saw that game pop up somewhere, and I was thinking, wow. That fits so well in the channel. If I can make a Game Dev Tycoon video, that'd be pretty fun. So maybe I'll make a quick Game Dev Tycoon video. Like I can just record it in an hour and then edit it in an hour and then it will be done by Friday, you know? And then work up to the OpenCL video in the meantime. It's very hard to find some tutorials for OpenGL or SDL for C#. It seems everybody has gone to Unity. It's a pity. Yes. Yeah, we were just talking about that actually. Unity is so much easier to work with. Like, all of these issues we wouldn't have had if we used Unity. But on the other hand, it is so much more fun to actually have these issues, right? Like, this way you actually learn and you get to know how everything actually works behind the scenes. How your hardware actually works, how you can legitimately interface with it. You get so much more control, it's so much fun. But yes, there is very few tutorials. On OpenCL, actually, in general. Like, in OpenGL, you have quite a lot of C++ OpenCL videos. But OpenCL, not even that. Like, no one's using OpenCL. Yeah, Unity just runs but slow, yeah. That's basically it. You get less control, but you can make a game way quicker. But also, talking about time management and stuff, I do think I am going to hand over a resignation, actually, to my job, to my boss tomorrow. Which is going to be slightly scary. But she'll probably understand. You know, she'll probably understand. So the issue right now... Oh, and don't worry about me at all. I mean, I am a full-time student, so... You know, then also have this YouTube thing, and then also have the job. It's just a little bit too much. And the job was only a few hours, and it was just for fun anyway, so... I'm totally fine with giving up the job. I'd much rather do this and get some more time to actually work on these videos than to do that job. So I think I'm going to resign from it. That will probably take a couple weeks, maybe even a couple months until I'm actually fully done. But we'll see. I am working on, you know, prioritizing my life and actually doing what I think is important and is good for me. So, and I think YouTube is one of those things. Not because it makes me any money. Unfortunately, that is not how it works, but it is certainly a lot of fun. And yeah, it's just awesome reading your comments and seeing like, oh, people are actually enjoying this and learning stuff, and that's just awesome. That is just awesome. Also, speaking of, for some reason the gnome sort video has been taking off lately. I don't know why, but I've just been seeing comments pop up on people just commenting on the gnome sort video. And all of a sudden the gnome sort has, in terms of views, has surpassed the terrain generation video. Which I never saw coming, because gnome sort performed very, very poorly in like the first week that it came out. But for some reason the algorithm is just kind of picking it up right now. It's really weird. But yeah, kind of fun as well. You have Streamlabs Premium, doesn't that include Twitch plus OBS? Twitch plus OBS? I'm not sure. It does include that I can stream to Twitch and to YouTube at the same time, but for some reason that just doesn't work. And I'm thinking that it should work if I stream to Twitch first and to YouTube second, instead of to YouTube first and Twitch second. But of course, it is linked to your primary account, so my premium is linked to my YouTube, so I can switch it up. Yes, so yes, in principle I can, and I did that yesterday actually, but Twitch just really doesn't work then. Like I get nothing from Twitch. I don't get the Twitch chat, I don't get any Twitch notifications. It's pretty bad. And this morning I did some tweaking again, and this morning I didn't even get messages from YouTube anymore. Chat was just completely disabled. That's, yeah, it's very weird. Unity is okay, but I'd like to program low level for some time to understand how games work, which is why I prefer OpenCL. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, it's way more hands-on. Okay, I gave you a sub to support the channel and creation of materials about OpenCL and OpenCL. That is awesome, dude. Thank you so much. That is absolutely insane. I have set a goal actually for myself. And it's a bit of a wild one. I do think it's a bit of a stretch, but I'm gonna try, right? Especially if I can get rid of my job and actually use that time to work on the channel. I'm going to try to go for the 500 subs. It's before the end of the year, by the way, like on January 1st. I'm gonna try. Oh, you can actually see that. That's great. PLCR just subscribed with the zombie animation. That is awesome. Thank you so much. I didn't think that would actually show up, because that is more of a Twitch thing, right? But it does. That's crazy. That's awesome. All right, let's try to actually get this done before the end of the evening. Shader type, surely. We don't need this. Then we have this asset manager. This can just be textures. Right, this can be integers, it's fine. Just realized that I am one of the most well-known viewers of an 8K sub channel. Life flies by. Nice. Let's see. Oh, I haven't imported any of this. Yeah, let's just get all of this. Right, so loads. I guess it should just be create texture, and then not really from a file. So just create empty texture. Right. Let us see. And then we need one more of these. Right. Let's go to the render manager. This has all the texture code for us. This one. Texture manager in here, then we can plop that in. There we go. Get OpenCL. That is the correct one as well, OpenCL 4. So here we can just create the texture, then we can bind the texture. We can set all of this up, it's fine. And then in here, this will just be a null, right? Yeah, this can just be an int pointer .0. I am going to be lazy and just set all of this, the default values that we need. Of course, we should probably change this. It's actually taken some parameters, because just a default 1920 by 1080 texture. Probably not exactly what we want, but I want to try to get this done tonight, so. Let's skip the formalities. And let's just add the texture ID here. There we go. So then in the computing manager, we should be able to find our texture buffer here. And then we have the texture ID, and then we can get it from here. Oh yeah, of course I should probably get a function that just gets the texture ID. Should this be in texture manager? Oh no, because this does actually require the context. Yeah, so this actually needs a public static integer. And then get texture ID. Right. I should get an ID. Return textures ID. Something like that. So then in this one we can do, just end the line there. Texture manager dot get texture ID, and then the texture ID. We got another subscription, unfortunately. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that, dude. But thank you so much for the subscription. That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, welcome to the channel. Oh, I hope you've been enjoying the evening. I certainly have been. You think that actually, if someone just is watching one of my videos and is subscribing, my girlfriend gave you a sub too. Oh, that is so sweet. Thank you so much. Shout out to your girlfriend, dude. Oh, that is amazing. Right, that's awesome. I really hope you are enjoying the stream. Let's see here. So this is kind of lazy, right? I preferably want to have this function just in the engine as well, but this should return what we need. And we'll add the asset in there. So this will just create the buffer. And put it my 5k odds. Yeah, I mean, you totally can do that, right? I know that people on Instagram kind of do that sometimes. So just buy followers. It's a little bit shady. It is possible, but I'm not gonna do that, obviously. It doesn't really matter. If we don't hit the goal, right? I said just some arbitrary goal. If we don't hit the goal, then it really doesn't matter. We'll just get it a little bit later. But, yeah. It's just nice to have a goal to know what you're working for, you know? And, yeah, I just like to know what I'm working for, I suppose. Let's see. And it's not all about numbers, of course. Let's just get that straight here. Certainly isn't. Okay, we have a very shady texture manager with a create empty texture. We can just kind of do that in the engine here, in the on startup here. Texture manager, create an texture manager has a weird namespace. Go away. There we go. Do that. This will give us an ID. Just plop that in here like we did a couple other times. I've hit my goal with a viewer on my stream somehow. Dude, your stream this afternoon was quite enjoyable. Or this morning, actually. You were streaming in the morning. It was quite enjoyable, actually. It was nice. I can't type though, as you might have noticed. Static ID and then texture ID. And here texture ID equals this. There we go. And now we should be able to create the object in here as well. So we can do computing manager. Dot create texture buffer. Oh yeah, with this ID of course. Then we're going to get a CL texture ID back. Right, something like this. Yeah. So then we have the CL texture ID. And then we need to use that everywhere. Wait, can't we just put all of this code in the CL objects file. I think that would be more sensible. Then we can just have it here. So the pixel buffer, basically. I don't want this pixel buffer anymore. I can have the pixel buffer here. Like this is the pixel buffer now. Yeah. And the anti-texture, that is correct, right? We're doing 1920 by 1080 times 3 floats. Times RGB times float. Yeah, so that should be the same thing. Right. Then anything else is just the same? Yeah, this should go away. Anything, everything else is just kind of the same, right? It's just that in here, we just don't do this anymore. We don't do that. We don't do this either. Just kind of have the texture. So we also don't delete the texture anymore. This can just kind of go as well. Where do we bind the texture? We probably do want the part where we bind the texture, right? Oh, here we should bind the texture. Yeah. This should be texture manager. But get texture with then just the ID of the texture. Which we don't have, of course. Right. This is getting extremely messy, but sure, we'll put it here real quick. Public static ID, and this will just be texture ID real quick. And just copy all of this here. And then texture ID equals this. There we go. And this can be OpenCL objects.texture ID, and this should kind of work. Hopefully. Now, of course, in here we do actually need the image format here. I'm not entirely sure what the format here is, so let's look that up real quick. OpenCL image 2D, something like that. All are built-in data. Image 2D T. A 2D image. See individual image function for more info. Oh, that is just T is for type or something. Read image F for 1D. Do an element lookup. No, but I just want like the actual type though. Oh, that is the underscore T, right? So image 2D T. Pixels. And then we need to write to it, right? So write image for 1D. Write image this for 2D. Write image F. Image, coordinates, and then color. It's always a float 4. Sure. Okay, let's write that down. We'll get this int 4 coordinate. That's a little bit extreme, no? So let's do an int 2 instead. Right. Of px, py. Write image f. Pixels. Totally. That, and then we need a float 4 with 4 floats in it, obviously. So I suppose we'll have this thing as the x. Right, that's, yeah, that seems correct. Then we have this thing for the y. This thing for the z. And then lastly, we just have a 1.0 for the alpha. Right? I guess if we're storing it on a GPU anyway, it doesn't really matter. If we just store like an extra float per pixel, I think that should be okay. But anyways, let's see here. That's not what I wanted. This is the one that I wanted. Let's just run it. We'll see. Surely I forgot something. I didn't, but also we're getting 2 milliseconds, which is actually the bottom. You can't get any faster than that. You missed the parentheses? This thing is too big. Let me oh, this looks... Yeah, that looks a little bit weird. Right, so we have this thing, and then that's a float of this thing, a float of that thing, a float of that thing, and a one. Yeah, this should already be better then. Seems fine. But we're not seeing the color at all. Maybe that's because of the format. Maybe, right? Maybe we need like a 4D texture. RGBA, something like that. Something. Isn't it float XYZW? Float 4. What I have, right? I have the X, the Y, the Z, and then here the W. For float 4. Oh, like that. Don't think so. I don't think this should make a difference. Maybe it does. Not a difference indeed. So everything is black, meaning that, well, we are binding it, right? Yeah, we are binding the texture. If we just check what the ID here is. Right, let's just check that real quick. Then that shouldn't be 0, or it shouldn't be -1, I think. Oh, now we are throwing an exception. Oh, we weren't doing this before? Legal address space. Float 4 expected. 539. That one is an illegal address space. Right image F. Unexpected type name float 4. Expected expression. Maybe this is an issue. Oh, this should be a float 2. Whoops. No, wait, that's... I totally botched that, didn't I? This should be an int 2. Yeah, maybe I should not have this then. Unexpected type name int 2. Expected expression. I don't really know why. Maybe I shouldn't truncate my line like that. No, illegal address space on image sampler type. Oh, wait, it's just an illegal address space on image sampler type. Right, and that is just getting rid of all of this, and then here it doesn't expect to get an int 2 where it expects to get pixels. Right. So this is the real issue. So a legal address space on image. So that means that we can't have a global address space on image. Alright. Note that blah, blah, blah are only defined if the device supports images. See the table for details. Should we just not have global here? Just have image 2DT? Maybe that works better. Expected type name int2, expected expression. Yeah, I think it should be like this though. Yeah, same here for float 4. Run this. Now we're just getting errors for no reason again. Yeah, now the log is just 38. Oh, and there is some stuff in here, it's just not really saying anything. Wait, encoding the default to get string. Wait, we just had this here and we just didn't see it. We were just struggling with, oh, How do we get this string from this log? Weird. Oh, that's so bad. I guess int2 data. Yeah. So this seems to work as we're getting another, like a different error expression. What if we just forcibly release now? Because for some reason, nothing ever happens this way. Oh, yes. No, that's definitely still black. We are getting good FPS though. Do enjoy that. It's fine, it's fine. Yeah, I don't really know why we are getting this unexpected, weird type of error. The exception is just nothing. Let's try to console.writeline it. This thing. See what we get. Oh, here we do get something. I don't know why the exception here is just giving us garbage. But invalid image type in sust. Don't say it. Don't you dare. Who needs a functioning program when you have good FPS? That is exactly what I mean. That is exactly what I mean. Who cares, dude? I got 500 FPS, so. Invalid image type. Sure, but image 2DT. Let's look at OpenCL image 2DT and then, yeah, you know what? Kinda already have that. 2D image of specific format and size may also contain bitmap levels, blah blah. Then we have the image array. Sure. And then 3D types. I don't really want that. OpenCL image 2DT. Doesn't work, doesn't give back value. So this guy, what does this guy use? CL float 4, yeah. Image 2DT. And this is the C++ type, and then in here it has read only. Image 2DT and write only. Right, look at the OpenGL and OpenCL stuff. That's actually very smart. Int chords is this thing. Oh, here it uses, this guy uses brackets like that. That's weird. Source image, sampler. Oh, it needs a sampler type? Oh, this is reading, wait. And then write image is just output image. Chords. And then pixel, which is float 4. Seems fine to me. What is this line? Kernel to global size this. It's mistakenly assumed that the C argument list and added 2 as dimensions, removing the 2 solved the problem. Right. Oh, do we not want the 2 anymore? Oh, that should be fine. Is OpenCL a rival to OpenGL in DirectX? Because I don't know. OpenCL is from the same kind of group from the kernels group. Same group as OpenGL. Right, they also have OpenAL and they are also developing Vulkan. All of that stuff. OpenCL isn't really made for graphics, necessarily. OpenGL is very much made for graphics, just like DirectX and just like Vulkan. But OpenCL is made for computing on the GPU specifically. So it's made for, let's say you're a scientist and you need to process a lot of data. You can send that to the graphics card and you can just do stuff there. You can just kind of compute things without having to render it. Of course, we are using it to render because this gives us a little bit more control over, you know, using GLSL shaders and stuff. You can make shaders, actually. In fact, I do believe that Debunked, who might or might not be in chat right now, but is certainly in the Discord group that we're all in. Link is in the description, by the way, if you want to join. And he is working on a ray marcher as well, and he is using GLSL. Right, so it's totally possible, but I want to use OpenCL because it just gives a bit more control. And I like exploring new stuff, you know? Let's see, though. Oh yeah, here, this tutorial. So what do these guys use? Texture, da-da-da. They actually use unsigned bytes, which is weird. And then they are also using field.data, but they're not really specifying what field is. Presumably it's just nothing, right? And in fact, I don't even think this really matters. Of course, this matters if you want to write data to it, but this shouldn't cause any issues because it's just a underlying buffer. The data handle, yes, this will just be image 2D GL, which will be the context, memory read write, which is the same as we have, GL texture 2D, 0, then texture, then result. Yeah, this is the same line that we have actually, so this is totally fine. And then needs to acquire texture from OpenGL, pushback. Unqueue acquire GL object. Oh, needs to acquire the texture from OpenGL, so everything is prepared now. Right. Why does this not do the same thing? Unqueue acquire GL objects. Let's go to here. Here texture buffer. And then CLGL dot and then acquire. Unqueue acquire GL objects. Command queue number of objects. Memory objects. Sure, we could try this. It's gonna be queue. Dot value. In number of objects. It's just be 1, right? Then memory objects, which is just this thing, our texture buffer. Then number of events in waitlist will be 0. This will just be null. I think we can do that. This will be out. And then CL event. Events. Oh, it's not an ECL event? Yeah, CL events. Why is that not working now? Oh, there we go. Right, and this will also get us a result code. Sure. We should probably go over all of this sometime and fix all of this because it's getting incredibly ugly. Okay, so now we do that as well. Run it now. We are still getting this issue though. Invalid image type in SUST. Maybe we should just look that up. Set arguments. Texture swap. Yeah. Sure. I'm thinking, right? This is just a sampler. This is a image 2DT. Yeah, so these guys are using inputs and outputs. I think the unqueue acquire GL objects is to get a texture from OpenGL that already has data in it. And we just really don't care about that. We just want an empty texture. So I don't think that necessarily matters. Look at this. This doesn't... Kernel image parameter must be qualified with write only, read only. Oh, well, would you look at that? So we actually do need a write only specifier. Would you look at that? Write only. There we go. You think that that just works then? Yes. Invalid kernel arguments. Awesome. What are we setting as the arguments? That is a good question. That is a good question. Right, so we are not really having any issues anymore, but then here we are setting arguments that are apparently not really that great. So here is the pixel buffer as 0. And the pixel buffer right now is this create texture. Right, and that is invalid. Create from that. Oh yeah, we're doing this, which we probably shouldn't be doing. Textures read write. Should it be only read? What are they doing in here, right? These guys. What is in their kernel? They also have read only and write only. I don't know. That's yeah, sure. Let's actually check that out. So in here we have our thing that is read. Oh no, it's not that one. Read write. This one should be write only. No, still invalid kernel arguments. Let's actually go here. No, not the texture, but the computing manager. Right. Go all the way down. And in our texture here, I'm gonna have a breakpoint here. And I quickly want to check what our result code is. Invalid context. Oh yeah. That could be it. By the way, since OpenCL you can do read write. Okay, that is pretty cool. But our context is invalid. Which, you know, might cause some issues. Are we still doing this from here? No, so we are doing load OpenCL objects. We're loading all of these, so surely the context should be valid. And if context is null, we're actually checking for that. So context is a thing. Why is this an invalid context? This is a thing as well. Text image 2D, which just has a value, right? Certainly it does. When are you making the texture? After or before? We are making the texture before we do this. So this texture, the one that we are writing down, this one, should already have a value. And also it's saying invalid context, so surely it has something to do with our context, which is weird. Okay, let's see. Maybe we need to like enable special capabilities for our context. That might be it. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking that might be it. Yeah, I think that might be it. After we create a window, the next step is to get OpenGL context under the window there. Oh, this is just the GL context. These properties. Yeah, no, this is just CL context properties. The CL GL context thing. Yeah. Okay, let's see. So in our create context stuff, we are saying here, device, null pointer, null pointer. Do we have capabilities in here somewhere? Properties, yes, this one. Now, how do we get proper properties in here? Like, this is just an in pointer. What am I even supposed to do? Right. Properties. In pointer array for properties. Yeah, that's cool and all. Should I just have a new array? Something like CL properties or like context properties? I don't know. OpenTK. And now we are actually getting into some OpenTK issues where I don't really know how to translate this to OpenTK code. Properties. Command queue property, context properties. This one. Context platform. It's just not there, is it? just not there. Yeah. Cool. Sure. Let's go to OpenCL. Then create context. And let's see if we can actually find anything on this. Here, to create context. This is, I guess this is the kernel specification. That's a little bit weird. It looks weird. Then here it has a properties pointer. Specifies a list of context property names and their corresponding values. Each property name is immediately followed by the corresponding desired value. The list is terminated with 0. The list of supported properties is described in context properties. Properties can be null, in which case the platform that is selected is implementation defined. Yes. Only 2. Context interrupt user sync. Where they're responsible for synchronization between OpenCL and other APIs. Please refer to the specification of the OpenCL extension specification. CL context interrupt user sync is not specified. The default value is false. Yeah. Right, and that should probably be true. Yeah, and what is the name of this? What is the actual value of this thing? Yeah, I understand that. The problem is I can't actually get you. CL context platform, that is the one that I can get, right? So if I go here, then context properties, it has the context platform, but that's it. Yeah, that's an issue. Guys, that's an issue. Oh, that's a big issue. Yeah, so OpenTK is not quite complete when it comes to the OpenCL side of things. Oh, yikes. What is the current OpenTK status? The API. And then let's look for the OpenCL stuff. Yeah, and then CL device or context properties. What's it actually called? Yeah, just context properties. Context properties. Oh, hold up. It's not actually in CL. Oh wait, I'm seeing things. I'm seeing things right now. .clgl. And then it's in properties in here. Yes, it is. CGL share group. EGL display. GL context. GLX display and WGL. I think it's this one. And then the value is then 1. Yes, something like this. Of course, cast everything to a uint pointer. No, just an int pointer. Sure. It doesn't like this. Oh, and then it should be terminated by 0. That is true. So we actually do need an int pointer that's 0. We need to completely copy this. No, still not. Invalid operation. Yeah, I'm not sure if this should just be true, aka 1, or not. What does this one actually have in the tutorial? It says GL context, and then it says WGL get current context. I don't know. Oh wait, that should be the actual context from OpenTK, no? Right, so if I'm here, right, on window load, I can do like window, context, window pointer, is current, swap interval, make current, swap buffers, that represents the context. It's probably this one, right, that we have to actually put in there. How do we even get that there? Like, this is in the init function, so I suppose I just have this all the way up here. But then again, can't be here. It has to go after we make the window, right? Wait. Here. And then in it should have an int pointer context, or like GL context. And then this here should have, where is it? Context. This should have our GL context, which is already an int pointer. Still invalid operation. And this thing actually has a lot of stuff. So it has CLGL context, then it has CLWGL HDC, then CL context platform. But it has a bunch of stuff, and we just have the GL share group, which is not even the same thing. I'm getting spammed by webcam girls, right? Right, that is definitely something I could use right now. Thank you so much for the... I guess, boys, this stream is getting very popular. Yeah, obviously it's a bot. It's a webcam. Stream girls here. Oh, that's annoying. Now I have to kind of do it. Oh, yeah, this is the GL context. Sure. So, right. It's getting late. To do. And then fix GL share context. Getting late. The cam girls are waking up. Meaning that we're getting spammed by cam girls, which is of course awesome. Don't click on it, of course. Anyway. Probably time to end the stream here. Tomorrow we will try to fix all of this. Maybe even in between streams I'll try to kind of clean things up, because it's getting very messy right here. I really thought... Yeah, I will. I just... I have some issues doing that right now, actually. Can I even do that? No, I can't do that because I'm not logged into chat. There we go. And then reports. Yeah, spam. And then this one as well, of course. Reports, spam. This one as well, reports. So the only problem here is that it isn't actually going to do anything, right? That's the issue with bots. And of course we don't, in this space, with just creating games, doesn't really matter, but in the finance kind of world of YouTube, it's a big issue, and those bots just come up and just scam everyone. It's really annoying. Okay, I'm going. It was nice to talk with you. Please make more materials about OpenGL, OpenTK in C#. Maybe something about dry-only primitives. I haven't seen it at your channel. See you again. I've only ever drawn triangles on my channel, I think. Nothing else, nothing other than that. Good idea. Yeah, I'm also going though. See you later, PLCR. PLRC. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm dyslexic, I guess. Yeah, I'm just getting tired. I always do this sort of stuff when I get tired. Yeah, I was really hoping that we could fix this all tonight, but yeah, I guess I was a little bit too optimistic. We'll do it tomorrow though. Tomorrow we can definitely do it. This should be the last little bit of the puzzle. We'll see. Hope to see you all then. Oh, by the way, we might actually be on Twitch tomorrow. Or we might be on both platforms at the same time. I'll still think about it a little bit. But I'll definitely at the very least be on Twitch. And hopefully, and maybe also on YouTube, if it's working, you know? If it works. Then I'll try to do a couple of streams on both sides. But I'll definitely try to switch the focus more and more to Twitch over time. For these streams at the very least. And then YouTube content, of course, is just YouTube content. Okay. Hope to see you all tomorrow. Keep up to date in the Discord, of course. Everything will be on the Discord. Link is in the description. And yeah, bye, I guess. I may not be gone until it ends, but you know, hopefully. Alright. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.